Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and we got a doozy on tap here on feature court number 1. We got a winner's bracket throwdown, and I can definitely legitimately call it a throwdown between the number 2 seed Crabb, Taylor Sander, against number 3 seed James Shaw and Cam Schalk. Are you ready to get down to business? Because I'm with Victoria Dennis, and we were excited because they've been switching up where the matches are working here on this court, and we got this one. So Victoria, tell us what you got.
So Schalk and Shaw are coming off a 3-set bar burner to stay alive here in the winner's bracket. They rely heavily on their defense, but it's gonna have to level up against the Taylors. We know that Sander and Crabb live for the highlight reel. They bring a lot of their indoor flair onto the sand. We see the indoor flair offensively with the range and motion in their offense, and defensively with Sander being able to take away space, but not against that big rip. Both of these teams know that it's gonna take everything in their wheel well to pull out a win.
Well, as you see, the energy has started out strong with a couple of hammers back to back and some double bicep flexes to entertain the crowd. Crabb, first swing. Why does he make it look so easy?
He's been playing the game a long time at Outrigger Canoe Club. Crabb, one of my favorite defenders to watch because he just moves like a crab in the sand. He plays very disciplined defense. He continues to level up his game as a veteran.
He's up.
Ball's knocked in the corner, blind dig, but we have a net violation on Shaw, and he walks away. He's like, oh, because Cam had the read on that ball on the windmill dig and had a good ball in play. And then the whistle blew. You're looking at Taylor Sander back to serve, the 6'5" blocker, and he tickles the twine on the ace.
Crabb and Sander took their last game against Nick Lucena and Tri-Born in 3. It was on Stadium Court. It was an absolute barn burner, and that's what the Manhattan Beach Open is. Can you come in and play every single game like it's your last and grab at that ball? Sander doing a great job of tracking his attacker out in front, lining up. He delayed his block half a beat because it was a high set, and then grabbed fast across the top of that tape.
Shaw unloaded the heavy artillery, but the dome provided by Sander, and Shaw retaliates. We got ourselves a really spicy matchup already. I wouldn't be surprised if the crowd started gathering around this one with the noise these guys are making.
Shaw really utilizes his top spin serve, guiding himself with that toss. And the broadcaster jinx got him.
Yep.
But what Shaw did really well in his last match was really challenge the seam of his opponents. He likes to serve straight on, so he's not carving the ball too much. He serves exactly where he's facing.
Cam tickles the twine again. Everyone likes that sideline over there.
They really do, because that's where the wind is blowing. So if you're able to get a hand on ball and force it towards that west sideline closest to the ocean, that ball's gonna drop just half a beat faster.
Crabb on his another swing at the left side, goes off speed. Cuddy action.
Back to that west sideline again. Defensively, I think both teams have to realize wind is picking up just a bit here. So offensively, they're gonna try and hit back into the wind. Wind now around 10 miles an hour off that Pacific Ocean.
Gonna have to check you on my weather app there, Victoria, as that jump serve by Sander misses long. We got a 71 degrees right now, and the wind gusts are up to 11 miles per hour. So Victoria is correct, plus or minus 1.
Thank you very much.
Shaw, the 6'8" blocker, and we got a foot fault on the serve.
This is the first one we've seen all day. It's a tough call to make, but a call nonetheless. Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander coming into this Manhattan Beach Open for the 4th time together as a team, entering Saturday with a 16-5 match record, with 4 losses coming to either Theo Brunner or Trevor Crabb.
Schalk with a sizzle out of the right side. Crabb with the move to the angle, but a little too much heat. Five serving to 8. Schalk back to serve. Crabb, high ball swing off the block of Shaw.
Taylor doing a great job of having a fast arm as an offensive threat. He's consistent with his step close to the ball, and as soon as his feet leave the ground, his arm is unleashing, and he's not swinging low looking for a bounce kill against James Shaw. He knows he's not going to get that with Shaw blocking at the net. What does he do? He swings high and hard and uses that block to his advantage.
Interesting enough, both Taylors AVCA Player of the Year. That was an amazing season when you have these two going at it. Had a retro shot sent to me of these two, Taylor Crabb, Taylor Sander, playing juniors ball together. I think
Roots
they were
run
maybe
deep.
13 or 14 years old. Jump serve misses long by Shaw.
Both teams challenging the ace-to-air ratio, especially at this level of volleyball. If you have an easy serve, it's much like a free ball. The team is just going to use it on a first ball side out.
Came on the attack, read by Crabb, and Sander on the option ball winner.
We talk about the option ball a lot in serve receive. Well, you have to pay attention to it in transition, especially with Sander at the net. Crabb does a really great job of manipulating the ball as a defensive player in the backcourt, creating space and room for Sander to go up and be an offensive threat on 2.
Got our first team timeout taken by the team of Schalk and Shaw, trailing by 5, and I think they needed that one there because you don't want the Taylors to get into a groove because they ride that momentum from the crowd.
They do. We talked about them being an offensive threat, and that's exactly what they're doing fresh out the gate. They're 5 for 5, batting 1,000 offensively. Right now, Schalk has 3 kills, batting 600. They want to get Shaw going just a little bit more in serve receive when he has that opportunity. Shaw has 3 service errors. He's really challenging his opponents at the end line. I expect that serve to click, and that ball's going to start falling soon. We'll see Shaw with a couple aces.
You know what's interesting, Victoria, is this is the first heritage event for Taylors. You've seen them play in the league. What have you seen being courtside at those events?
Yeah, I've seen them be able to have a little bit more fun and flair. The sand that they've been playing in isn't as deep as the Hermosa or Manhattan Open where they usually train, so they've been able to really expand the horizon offensively, playing in a more controlled environment.
Taylor Sander owning up top.
They've been able to play in a more controlled environment in indoor arenas, but it does not matter. Sander is still playing indoor volleyball and beach simultaneously, so he's able to cross-pollinate here with both sports.
Came Schalk going crossbody on the winner. Was he playing indoor professionally in Indonesia and one of the Asian countries, and they paid well? That's all that I will say. But I mean, they treat their volleyball players like rock stars.
Oh, volleyball is huge all across Asia and South America, Europe, and we're seeing it on the stateside at the pro level as well. Indoor-wise, you have League One and you have the MLV. I was in-house with the PVF, which is now the MLV, and it's just so cool to see the leagues continue to grow across the U.S.
You saw James Shaw on the bombing run, but Taylor Crabb come in, took it like a champ, but it goes out of play as we go into our first technical timeout with the Taylors leading 13-8 on Schalk and Shaw. And looks like Schalk and Shaw are trying to get their bearing here to see what's going to work against this powerhouse of the Taylors.
I expect Schalk and Shaw to try and solidify that first and second ball contact. Shaw is a great setter, standing at 6'8" at Stanford. He has that flow. I'd like to see Schalk work a little bit more in transition to get out to the pins, to manipulate the big block of Sander, try and move him around just a little bit more.
Yeah, he's going to ask you about the transition of Taylor Sander from indoor to beach, back to indoor, and now back to beach. And, you know, he wasn't really known as although he was a great instinctual blocker on the indoor side of games, or the indoor side of volleyball, on the beach, I just didn't think he was going to translate well, but he seems to be a phenomenal blocker because they list him at 6'4", he says he's 6'5". Yeah, it's
dealer's choice. Yeah, I would say his
but he
indoor
touches a lot.
Right, his indoor experience, blocking wise specifically, has influenced his beach game because he's used to seeing heavy hitters out in front of him and taking away that space. He's now seeing more heavy hitters, more rips on the sand, so it really plays to his advantage.
See that serve by Schalk go into the net. I think they got to be successful. They've really got to. I know they've got to get tough serves in there, and they got to risk it. But you know, at what point you got to pull back and just let your play do the talking right now, because they're getting too many free points with their service errors.
I would have to agree with you. I'm all for let it rip, let it fly, and see what happens. But right now for Shaw, I would like to see him rein in that serve, be a little bit more consistent. You don't have to be 100 miles an hour on your serve, 100%. Maybe go back and rip a serve that's 65%. Try and move your opponents around just a bit more. But right now, the Taylors are just locked in.
Well, they're whittling it around blocks. They're using the block and then just tooling. I think because Shaw's getting those reads, they're lining up, but they see hands, they go around, they go off, and coffin corner ace by Taylor Sander. And we do have a crowd around feature court number 1.
The best servers in the world have the most consistent toss. And right now on the AVP, Sander has a very consistent serve with back-to-back aces. What makes it so lethal is his toss. He's leading himself out in front with a consistent apex, giving him that opportunity to have great hand-to-ball contact.
I don't know if you got, you know, he had to back up the shimmy and end up serving it in the net. All you on the stream, you don't get to see the close-up. But before that last serve, he had a little shoulder shimmy to the crowd. I'll have to give him an A, though, because of the great execution of the shimmy.
Yeah, there you go. Schalk needs to find a way to dig a ball here. Hasn't found one yet.
Unloading, and Sander up and over, misses just wide. 18-10 on the turn. And Schalk and Shaw looking for answers to see how you can slow them down. They have so many ways they can get you. And they option, they work around, they work over, they serve tough, they dig you. Shaw out to Shaw. Blocked up top by Sander. Over the block, back flipper by Crabb, but unfortunately the net is a little sticky today.
Good transition play for Schalk and Shaw. They have to be ready to cover on their side, especially with Sander at the net. Expect him to continue to get those block touches.
Schalk going cross court over to Crabb. Crabb unloads, has to come over. I thought there was a touch on the block. This is the net. Crabb wipes it off the block, dug by Schalk. Knuckle poke, and a coffin corner shot again.
That's a momentum play that Shaw and Schalk needed. Shaw did a really great job of descending into that ball to lift it, create that backspin on his side. Shaw has that court vision, volley IQ. Another point to his name with 5 kills, batting .667.
Schalk waiting for Shaw. Get position at the net. See who they're going to work on this one. They've been going to both, and both have been successful. tight pass. And look out below. Taylor Sander, otherwise known as the Sandman.
Proving that there's always more angle. Great job as being a right-handed attacker on the right side. He does not let that ball drift across his attacking shoulder. He goes and gets it.
Came on the pass, and Kane off the block, and Taylor Crabb up for blocking duty. Gives us, we'll say, below average height people a chance to be blockers.
There you go.
That's a phenomenal volleyball family. I mean, Trevor Crabb, Taylor Crabb, Tony Crabb. Outside set to Taylor, and finesse ball winner. Brings us to our first set point for the number 2 seed, Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander.
Watch for Crabb to move this ball short.
Oh, deep knuckle float. Came, one paw on it by Sander, and Sander cracks the whip on the option. 21-13, first set winner. All right, Victoria, we are seeing some highlight plays.
We really are, and that's exactly what you expect to see when you come out to watch the Taylors play. They play at such an elite level, especially when they're in the zone. They're a big momentum team because they have those big flashy highlight reel plays, and that adds to their advantage. Where a team can get them is maybe throw them off their rockers just a little bit, keep challenge them at the service line, but you have to be consistent where you're challenging your opponent. You can't just go in, make mindless errors. Not saying that's what Schalk and Shaw did. I think having 5 service errors is tough playing against such a crisp, disciplined team of the Taylors. Coming back out of this, I can expect Shaw and Schalk to go back to the drawing board. They didn't have a bad team hitting percentage. Both teams actually have 10 kills apiece, but the Taylors were able to put it away twice as well, batting at .833 as a team, 0 attack errors on the ball game. Schalk and Shaw with a total of 7 errors combined with missed serves and attack errors. So that was really the difference in the spread.
Yeah, it's like any team would love to have 471 as a hitting percentage, but when your opponent's hitting .833, kind of hard to defeat that.
It is, and Shaw and Schalk have teamed up together since August of 2024. They know what it takes to play in these high-level matches. They actually have been playing more international matches and events than domestically, even being a part of the AVP League. Shaw has played in more events, 13, than domestic 10, including this weekend. So internationally, Shaw's been a part of 13 events this season. Watch for him to come back out and try and really level up his gameplay.
I think our men's pipeline is getting better. I mean, not as quickly as the men's, but you know, all these guys playing internationally, trying to get Olympic qualification points. And I mean, the future is definitely getting brighter. Now, is it on the same pace as the rest of the world? But it's a work in progress, and I'm very optimistic.
I'm very optimistic, too, for Team USA heading into LA 2028, but that's a topic for another time, Rob.
Shaw on the attack. One hand stab by Crabb. Lefty swing dug by Kame. Joust. And the love shove up top by Sander. He double flexes to mom and dad. That's Steve and Kira courtside.
That joust went back and forth like 4 times before that ball went down. That was crazy.
Came, get a chance to swing and tickles the twine again, and a little friendly banter there.
Well, we'll say friendly for those at home. Hopefully nobody is lip reading on their screen.
Family friendly is what they said.
Yes. Gives you a little flair.
Schalk goes over towards Sander. You know he's going to hit it. And Shaw with a yell across the net. Ladies and gentlemen, check for survivors. That was a wicked, nasty stuff block.
What I love about James Shaw is that he is always calm, cool, and collected, and he answers in his gameplay. He doesn't feel the need to chirp and to chaw across the tape. He answers with a block, with a kill.
Shaw gets another block. Came with a dig. Joust. Nope. And Crabb going in. I hit that over the top.
But this is where the Taylors thrive. They love the banter. They love the chit chat through the net. So if you keep fueling that fire, they're going to keep doing it.
Chirp, chat, trash talking. It's all welcome on the beach. Floats or misses long. It seems the crowd has discovered our feature court matchup here as they're beginning to surround and get deeper around the edges there. Shot winds up, goes into the net. I love the head game that's going on here. I mean, if we could just have a mic'd up moment here.
Yeah.
Crabb working came down the line. Came cross court inside the block. You know, they were given 5s in the first set. Not so much anymore.
I like this side switch for Schalk and Shaw, mainly because now they have the opportunity to earn a couple more in transition. They have to pay attention. Their left side of their court is where the Taylors want to attack.
Sander off speed, came on the pickup and busting out the whooping stick. The Canadian crush came.
We needed Came Schalk to step up, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's now putting balls away at a much higher clip in set number 2 with 2 kills to his name, both of them coming off of 2 awesome digs.
Low pass. Sander denied, and he takes the sunglasses off. Sander, and he is shaking his head. Oh boy. The fire has started here on feature court number 1.
I told you that James Shaw won't trash talk, but he answers back with his gameplay.
Sander! And he sends a souvenir to Orange County.
I mean, do they get an extra point for each stare down that they have? It's every single point there's a stare down.
Well, I feel like we're in the movie Zoolander, you know, they're giving their blue steel look, their Magnum, Le Tigre. Sander off the cable. Dirty ace, and some choice words delivered across the way.
Lucky let serve in favor of Taylor Sander.
Viewers, we're sorry that we can't get a courtside mic for you, but there's some good stuff happening there.
Sander challenging that seam of Schalk and Shaw. Expect him to do it again.
5 looking at 6. See what Came does on the right side. And he goes inside the block, and they've turned the chatter up to 11.
Great fast hand-to-ball contact there from Shaw. He challenges the block high. He doesn't drop his elbow, giving him that opportunity to keep it high and swing away.
Shaw rocking the black USA tee, and he goes off the antenna. Oh boy, now the crowd's getting into the heckling. Yep, it's turning into a true beach volleyball event here courtside.
Classic Manhattan Beach Open.
Crabb over towards Came. Going for the finesse game winner is Came Schalk.
Great delay there by Came, and that swing and point all stems from his vision. He took half a beat in his step close, glanced down, allowing him to find that open court with that hand to ball.
Schalk to Sander. And Sander ripping the fingers off the block.
One thing that Taylor Sander does really well as an attacker is every time he swings, he's piking into the ball, using his torque of his core to really lean into the swing, much like an MLB pitcher throws. That's how he swings.
And the 2-ball attack goes wide, and Sander looks across the net and smiles. I think that's a thank you card that he's sending, a verbal one. 8-8. in what is turning into a very entertaining match. And Sander double flexes, but instead turns it towards his opponents instead of the family. And Renee Marcellus stepping in saying, calm it down, keep it on your side, but
I think there's also something about sportsmanship at the end of the day. I get having the emotion and riding that high, but
well, the crowd has been ushered into the chatter now, so kind of hard not to giggle and laugh when you hear certain things that are said. Off the block, Crabb picks it up, but unable to fish it out of the net is Sander. He had landed on the block and turned the wrong way.
And there's different ways that you can express that emotion. Of course, I've been there as an athlete myself, but I think there's something about being a class act at the end of the day.
Right. Shaw goes into the net, 10-9. What's crazy is, yeah, there's all this banter and chatter, but they're practicing on 15th Street, having a few good jokes. Came on the attack, over dig on one. Now, the control that Crabb had on that ball was amazing to see.
Yeah, exactly. He's very stable in his defensive starting position, which really allows him to make these great defensive plays. It starts with that first step into the ball.
Oh, they call a double on the Shaw set. And we have 12-9 at the technical timeout as you hear the volume turn up here courtside. But there is a good battle going on here on court number 1, our feature court. As we are in this technical timeout, we have a few other live matches going on Stadium Court. You've got Chase Budinger and Miles Evans facing off against the other Crabb, Trevor Crabb and Phil, the thin beast, Dalhauser. That's a number 1 versus number 4, but the number 4 seed of Trevor and Phil leading 9-4 in the first set. And I'd be so torn on which to watch here. But if you're in the AVP 360 lounge, no problem. Grab a couple beers, go to one side, look at the other. But
nothing but good volleyball across the board. Only a 3-point ball game here. Schalk and Shaw have plenty of space to come back and climb into the back half of this second set. They already have made a couple more defensive plays than set number 1, and that's really has made this spread a little bit more in their favor. Specifically, it's Shaw in transition, finding ways to put the ball away. 6 kills, batting .556. Right now, Schalk and Shaw have a higher hitting percentage in the second set alone, .364 against the Taylors, batting .250. So if they're able to lock in a couple more service errors, they'll be able to close in that 3-point gap.
You're looking at future Olympians here on the court. I mean, they have Olympic aspirations. As you see Crabb go down the line towards Schalk. Schalk lets it rip, and Crabb got the read, but too much power off that right side attack.
Schalk needs to continue to attack the perimeter of the volleyball court within a foot from the sideline. That really increases your attacking percentage drastically by 25%.
Hybrid pass by Crabb. Overhand dig by Kame. Knuckle poke winner for Shaw.
Can Kame and Shaw control the ball in transition and get the ball fast across the tape back on the Taylor side? Expect to see Shaw going over onto a bit more in transition.
Crabb swings to the left side. D-Knight up top. Oh, busting out the whooping stick. Sanders sending a souvenir to the moon. That thing bounced, left a crater, and went straight up to the latest SpaceX rocket in flight. James Shaw back to serve. 12 looking at 13. They are definitely in the mix here. Just a foot long on the aggressive spin serve. 6-foot Crabb stepping back to the service line. And Shaw passes almost out of play. Save, free ball coming. Down ball into the net. And both Taylors dug in for a bomb. You can see them at the middle of the court just waiting for a blast, and they're kind of shocked they didn't make it over.
Smart timeout for Schalk and Shaw. Still only a 2-point spread.
We are wondering what they'll come out with, because up until those unforced errors there, Schalk and Shaw have been going toe-to-toe since the start of the second set.
I think Shaw needs to lock in on 1 or 2 things that he can control right now. I think he's overthinking a little bit of trying to do a little bit of everything, but when you're batting negative and have 4 service errors in the second set, pick 1 to 2 things that you can focus on specifically. Schalk is playing at one heck of a ball game, batting .600 with 4 digs in the second set alone. So Shaw, out of this timeout, needs to reset a little bit. Pick 1 to 2 things that he can contribute as a partner.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This match has not been short action. All kinds of action. I mean, we've been seeing some bombs, some stellar digs, people going horizontal, big bounces, everything, aces, everything you want to see in a high-quality volleyball match. You know what we're missing, though, is the kids corn dogging behind us. I think, but you got to love the scene down here in Manhattan Beach in what is become the premier volleyball event in the United States. Beach volleyball, but definitely volleyball event, period. Jump set by Shaw, roll shot. Crabb, easy read. Swung, save, free ball. Crabb swings to the left pin. High line roll. The smooth operator in Taylor Crabb.
What separates Crabb's defense from other defenders is the fact that he's able to stay on his feet the majority of the time digging the ball. He's able to be that much faster, getting his feet to the ball, not having to dive and get on the ground and get back up. He stays on his feet the majority of the time.
16-12 the score. Shaw goes off the block of Sander. 13-16. Yeah. Schalk and Shaw have the ability to serve super tough from that line. And we saw it in the earlier match against Lotman and Allen. Sander on the attack, and Sander, that was just up and over the block.
Yeah, and you have to give credit where credit's due. Sander has one heck of an arm swing. Mechanically, it is pretty near perfect. Every single time, copy and paste, getting his right shoulder to the apex, no delay in his arm.
Schalk on the right side, and he delivers down the line, 14-17.
Great high line swing there from Schalk, keeping his shoulders square, guiding that ball down the line. With James running up to the net here, Shaw at the service line. Watch for an option play from the Taylors.
Shaw on the serve, dirty ace winner. Off the cable and down to pull him within a pair. Shaw going out right down the middle. He was mixing up his spin serves in his previous matches. Crabb with the offering. High ball in the middle, and attack air pulls him within 1 at 16-17.
Great discipline blocked by Shaw, forcing that unforced air from Crabb. Baited him into finding those high hands. That ball sailing long.
Has Shaw found his groove from the service line? We shall see. Goes down the line. Good serve. Out of system. Crabb takes a rip. and misses wide. And like that, 7 teams across the board. We got a timeout taken by the Taylors.
A consistent serve from Shaw has led his team back into this game. Yes, he's still ripping it from the end line, but Schalk and Shaw putting the ball away, batting .412 right now. And Shaw taking away space in a disciplined manner at the net, giving Came Schalk the opportunity and trust to continue to dance in the backcourt. Couple unforced errors by the Crabs, bringing Schalk and Shaw back into this ball game.
A little factoid for you, Victoria, of one of the items I noticed our notes. The only married couple in the Manhattan Beach Open, Molly Shaw, James Shaw. We have a few siblings playing in the tournament, but the only married couple, which, as you see on the court, if you're watching the Valley Live presentation, that's Molly Shaw on the court with Kelly Chang.
How fun for them to travel together to be able to play this game.
They missed out on one married couple, though. We've got Justin Chang and Kelly Chang. Coach.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's a family affair here.
It truly is. And
Victoria, weren't you just recently engaged?
I was, yes.
So what is the partner like? Is he quality?
As he sits right next to us, yes.
Eric, you're a stud.
Aw,
Congratulations.
Thank you, Rob.
Taylor on the roll shot, dug by Came, and a little too low, and that stops the run. 18-17 on the crunch time switch.
Coming into the red zone here, it's a pass set game. Can you earn a first ball side out, and who can earn that 1 point more in transition?
You know, wind's picking up a little bit more, even more than the 11 mile per hour than we had stated earlier. It's an onshore breeze, so from your view, it's from the left to the right. And Taylor Sander on the 10-finger discount.
When that ball is drifting inside, Sander does a great job of utilizing his right hand specifically to clamp down into that angle. That's 4 blocks now for Sander on the game.
Came. He's going to get another opportunity, and he rips an angle. 18-19.
That's a perfect set for Came, especially going against that block of Sander. It's 2 feet off the tape, which allows him to find that vision and range, beating that block inside.
Schalk over towards Crabb. Crabb, deep angle. Came made the right move, and he's angry at himself because he had an opportunity. That brings us to our first match point, serving at 18.
Sander running up to the net here as the primary blocker. Watch for Shaw's option.
Sander delivers, tough serve. Make that a walk-off ace for point, set, and match as the Taylors defeat James and Came 21-13, 21-18. Nothing but love at the court as you see them all shake hands. Victoria, final thoughts here on our contenders bracket matchup, or actually winners bracket matchup.
Yeah, great ball game. Schalk and Shaw able to come back in set number 2. Almost ran away with it, but Taylor's being able to lock it in on their side. Blocking played a huge factor, both in blocks themselves and just taking away space defensively for both of these teams. Both strong teams, but someone has to win at the end of the day. Taylor's walking off there 21-18 with a walk-off home run.
Well, with that, we have more action coming up here. And as everything here, it's been fluid. So we don't know who's coming up next. We know that one of the pairs is Kelly Chang and Molly Shaw. But we're waiting to see who their opponents are because as we've been working this match, the information is being passed our way. So with that being a winner's bracket matchup, still life for James Shaw and Came Schalk. But they're going to go into the contenders bracket to have to battle on if they want to advance to Sunday. But again, you're watching this Valley Live presentation of the AVP Manhattan Beach Open. Appreciate you guys tapping in to see the action courtside, but wait, there's always more. So come on back or jump on to feature court number 2 or stadium court. I'm Rob Aspero for Victoria Dennis. We'll see you back in 10.
We're right there.
You're feeding me, so I got it. And she didn't even want to